Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of the Nerdbyte. Today I'm going to show you some tips on how to write your Grok patterns. So in Relic, when we want to parse our logs, we can write the Grok patterns to parse the log message. And we can click on the list of Grok patterns. Here it takes us to the Grok debugger, and we can see all the patterns that are available for Grok. And I'm going to show you how to use the Grok debugger to create your own Grok patterns. So in this example, I have my lambda logs message is here. This is the log message I want to parse. So I have the timestamp and UID log level and adjacent payload details the log message. So in Grok rule, we have timestamp pattern, so I can just copy this and start write my Grok rule. The syntax is really simple. Give it percentage and curly bracket. You can see the first part of the timestamp has already been parsed here. And if we don't want to create a separate attribute, we can just leave this as it is. But if we want to create an attribute in Relic, we can add a column and give it a name. I'm going to call it lambda timestamp. And here, next we have a space. We can simply copy paste the number of space here and then write another pattern. I'm going to use the not space pattern. So this will include this UUID in the not space pattern. Another thing for space is that you can simply copy paste the number of spaces here, or we can use the space pattern. This could be a better way to handle space. There we go. Well, I actually has already got a rule created, so I'm just going to copy paste the rule for this log message. And then you may notice that I changed the not space and the space pattern as this part to data. Data is another common pattern. So it'll include both space and non-space to the same place. If I scroll down, you can see the data part. We include the UID with space. And this can be really useful, especially for stack trace. For this example, we have the stack trace information, and you can see the string include space in it as well. So we use data as a pattern. Another use case could be if we have an attribute which is a number like average duration or throughput or something. We want to change it to integer format because all the parsed attribute will be stored as a string in Relic. But if we do want to change it as integer, we can simply add a column int at the end following the attribute. Another thing that we may want to do is that sometimes a certain part of the log message may not appear, and if we want to also match those kind of log patterns, we can add a question mark in front of the attribute. So if I have a log message without the UID in the logs, I can still parse the log message where we can see the data will be a space. And if we do have a list of attributes we may not be able to see in the log message, we can add a bracket to the list of the attribute we may not see. So for this case, the log level, if it doesn't appear in this log format, the log can still be parsed. Hope these are helpful. Thanks, everyone.